You're listening to The Gal Code, hosted by me, BB Bagnall.
And me, Rob Garland. Thanks for joining us this week to discuss hot topics, our pit and the peak of the week.
And our Gal Code, the rules to live by.
Let's get started.
Oh my god, Rob, look, we made it to episode 2. Woohoo!
So exciting. Can we just talk about the epic reaction to episode 1?
Okay, no, before we go into all of that, I actually need to issue an apology.
Okay.
I know I've done one episode and I need to issue an apology, but it's actually quite serious.
Okay.
So, you know, when I was doing my pit of the week and I was talking about how I got trolled on Instagram,
Yeah.
because I was like, am I being a Karen if I do this? So I wasn't aware of this, but the Karen term is slang for a privileged white woman, which we sort of see as like the can I speak to the manager
Yeah.
esque type woman.
Absolutely.
But that actually has deeper meanings, and it's originated from basically someone who is using like their white privilege at the expense of black people.
Oh, wow.
Basically, I jumped on Instagram stories and was like, am I being a Karen? Which basically translated into, am I using my white privilege?
Oh.
I know, very, very, very tone deaf of me. I feel quite stupid now, so I just want to put that out there that I had no idea. So I'm really, really sorry. I was mortified. My friend texted me to tell me and let me know. Obviously, I think it's quite obvious that I didn't know.
No, absolutely.
But I can understand why someone would get like rubbed up the wrong way by that, because like honestly, the fact that it's so embarrassing to think I just jumped on stories and was like, am I using my privilege? Like, that's mortifying. So I am really sorry, but we live and we learn. We're always learning.
So, I do have a little update for you from episode 1.
Yeah.
I started a show last night, Selling Sunset.
You did?
I did.
Oh, I'm so excited
So
for you.
I was like up at like 1 a.m. I was like, I need something to watch. Okay, I'll watch Selling Sunset. Chrishell.
Right, okay, do you like Chrishell?
I enjoy Chrishell. I enjoy her name. Her name is a sound effect. Chrishell. Like, that's great. And I like Christine. She's an absolute horror.
See, I quite like her because she's there for the drama of the show, but she's nasty.
I'm only 4 episodes in, but I highly recommend it.
Honestly, like, it's fantastic. I think when you've reached the end of season 2, we need to fully discuss it.
Okay, we'll have a full like divulge episode breakdown situation.
Do you want to hear my update? My second update.
Absolutely.
So I've got an update on the banana bread story.
Oh, I'm here for it. Let's go.
So I didn't know. So Meg made banana bread for both neighbours. So
Oh,
with
nice.
terraced house. So the neighbours on the other side. And they, I think, are like our age, mid to late 20s, I think, so maybe a
Cute.
little bit older. And they sent a note back through the door and they were like, oh my God, thank you so much. Like, no one has ever made banana bread for us. Are you guys new here? We saw your fairy lights in your garden. We thought they were really sweet.
Aw.
Here's our like names. It's only me in the house at this time, but the others come back and forth.
That's so adorable.
We have made friends. We have actually made
Your
friends.
neighbours in London.
This just does not ever happen.
If you were in Newcastle, I think it would work, but I don't expect them to be that nice in London.
I know.
That's so lovely.
So we popped a note back and we were like, I'm new here, but the others have been here a while. Here's like my number if we're ever too noisy or anything. But I feel like if they're out in the garden, I'm going to pop my head over the fence and
Yeah.
be like, come over for dinner, al fresco and some wine.
That's cute.
Very cute.
Very cute. Okay,
So-
so we've got all of our updates out of the way.
Yeah,
Should we drive into Pit and Peak of the Week?
let's go in.
Let's go. So, Pit and the Peak this week. I'm going to tell you my peak.
Are you going to start high?
I'm going to start high because the pit, my love. Okay, here we
I'm
go.
really scared for the pit.
Some may say this is oversharing. Okay, so anyway, my peak this week, I had an HMRC tax refund.
This is what I describe as the adult version of the Willy Wonka's golden ticket.
It was the most glorious moment of my life. So I woke up. I don't really get posts. Like, you know, when you're younger, you used to get posts. You were absolutely buzzing. It's like, why that? Every time I get a letter, I'm like, oh no, like what kind of thing is this? So a letter, I was like, this isn't. And I opened it. I was like, hallelujah. And it was a tax refund. I mean, it wasn't the biggest one. It was more of a helping hand, but in furlough times we live. And and also these days it gets put into your account within 3 to 5 working days. You don't even get like a check or anything.
What?
So I logged on straight away. Like I hadn't put my contact lenses in. I was blind as a bat. Like, come on, let me just tap, tap, tap. Got that in my account. I'm going to be so well behaved. Within 2 days, I bought a pair of Givenchy sunglasses.
I love how you're not like Givenchy, you're like Givenchy.
Is that wrong?
No, it's right, but it's just nice because, you get people like, I want a Givenchy handbag. You're like, I bought some Givenchy sunglasses.
Givenchy. He's using his Geordie tones.
Oh, so that's when you messaged me and you were like, what do you think of these?
Yeah.
I thought you just dragged them out from a corner. I didn't know you'd gone and bought them.
No, I made a little cheeky purchase.
I'm here for this purchase because you and a pair of staple sunglasses, like the black sunglasses for you are so staple.
It's just needed. And also, I've actually had multiple pairs of sunglasses stolen.
Do you remember when someone stole yours from the gym?
Someone went into my gym locker and stole my Gucci sunglasses. And when I first moved to Halls, someone stole a pair of Versace sunglasses from my Halls.
I remember that. Do you have insurance on these?
No. But maybe I will. Now, for my pit of the week, I'm going to put a pre-warning out there that this could be seen as oversharing, but it's a very traumatizing situation.
I'm really scared.
This week I've actually started drinking again. Now, I did 100-something days of lockdown.
Oh God, you got hammered.
Pretty sober. So, yesterday I woke up and I'd done 6 days of drinking and in a row, and I was like, this isn't good, and I just didn't feel the best. And
6 days?
Yeah, it's just like, like a bit cheeky Aperol here and there.
Oh, not like binging.
I'd say 3 out of the 6 were heavy.
Okay.
1 was long. Anyway, so it got to like 5 o'clock or 6 o'clock in the evening, and I was like, I need to go for a walk because I think I'm going to be sick. I hadn't eaten all day apart from 2 white chocolate mice. Those really cheap things that you get in a pick and mix.
Oh my God,
like
yeah.
Heavy dairy. Wasn't cute. And I went for a walk, and I got to about half an hour away from home, and I went to Sainsbury's. So I'm just going to buy some water. And I picked up the water bottle, and I felt like I was about to throw up. I was like, oh, hell to the no. I was like, buy it and get outside. I bought the water, and I run outside, and I'm like, oh my God, I think I'm about to be sick. Now, where I was right next door to the house of someone I used to hook up with. And I thought, do I message him and say, hey, look, we haven't spoken a year and a half, but it didn't end very well. It's like, but can I use your toilet? Because I think I'm going to be sick.
Oh my God.
But I thought, probably best not. Probably best just, keep walking, get home. So I start to walk, and I feel my stomach go, And at that moment, I realized I didn't need to be sick.
I can't believe you're putting this on the podcast.
I had a situation down below. So I clench for life. This is not happening to me.
Just for reference, I'm like actually on the floor at this point laughing.
So I managed to get through it. I'm like, I am going to get home. And I got to the South Bank, and I shut myself on the South Bank.
Oh my God.
Guys, it wasn't helped. It could not be stopped.
I can't believe you're putting this on the podcast.
I'm sorry, but we have to own these situations. I fully could not prevent the situation from happening. I ran into a pub. I said, I'm so sorry. I don't know what has happened to me. I'm drunk all week. Can I please use your toilet? They're like, yeah, go for it. I ran in there, sort the situation out, and ran home. It was a full bridesmaids moment.
I'm picturing bridesmaids. She's got a wedding dress
outside the Oxo Tower. There's me on the South Bank. Like, everyone's having their lovely Sundays, and I'm like clenching. Like, this is not happening. Absolutely not. No. But I wasn't going to share it, and I thought, do you know what? When something happens in life, you've got to own it. We've all. Probably not all of us have been there, but...
Last week we're talking about me, aged 15, underage binge drinking, weeing myself. This week, Rob
24-year-old
shit
Rob
himself on the South Bank.
With an irritable bowel.
Oh my God.
So guys, I ran home. I was mortified, to be honest. And then I spoke to my sister, and I just said, do you know what? At least it's a pit of the week.
Do you know what is funny? You voice noted me and you were like, oh my God, I think I've got a new pit of the week. And I was like, are you okay? You sound traumatized.
I was on the South Bank.
And now I can understand why you sounded traumatized.
And everything, I got home, everything went straight in the bin. I'm sorry, I'm not salvaging that. I'm never going to be able to sort the situation out again. Had a shower, made some food, and I'm all better now, everyone. It's all fine. But, yeah.
I wonder what would happen if you actually went to that ex-hookup's house. Imagine I haven't spoken to you in a year and a half. 1 minute, I've just got bridesmaid stuff shit in your toilet. Now we're going into the bridesmaid's bathroom scene.
But what's great is it's 1 in, 1 out in bathrooms. So because I was in the toilet of this pub, no one else could come in. So I was like, okay, I can, and it was like a big toilet. So I was like, right, I'm spaced in this situation. I'm like, I need to salvage whatever can be salvaged to leave here with the little dignity that I can. Knowing I put my sunglasses on, I put my AirPods in, I listened to Kiki Palmer, It's My Turn Now from the Jump In movie, and I strutted myself home across Waterloo Bridge whilst thinking, oh my God.
Thank God for the Givenchy sunglasses.
Thank God. It upped the level of class severely.
I just don't know if I can top that. My pit of the week doesn't even seem like a pit compared to that.
I'm so sorry to everyone who's listening, but when we agreed to do this podcast, we said we'd be open. Anyhow, on that note, BB, would you like to tell us your peak and pit of the week?
Do you know my peak about my Celine handbag situation?
Not the full story.
Okay, so basically, I saw this blogger put on Instagram this like Celine straw, like kind of like tote beach bag vibe. And she was like, oh my God, I can't believe this is like 50% off at Flannels in the sale. Mm-hmm. And I was like, whoa, my BB Bagnall bargain ears pricked right up. And I was like, Flannels? I don't really like shopping in Flannels because I just think it's a very strange situation. So I went on the website and I couldn't find Celine anywhere. Then I was like, okay, fine. They don't stock Celine online. This blogger lives in like Northern Ireland as well. So I was like, well, Northern Ireland's still like England. So it'll be, obviously it's not England, it's like UK is what I meant. I was like, okay, I'm going to ring around the stores because then she said she got it in store. So I was like, I need to find this bag. This bag is like £400 usually. So 50% off is about £200.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, for Celine.
That's a bit of a true bargain.
Outstanding. Yeah. So good. I'm glad you're here for this purchase.
Yeah, always.
So I was like, oh my God, spending my lunch break at work, like work from home vibes, ringing. I'm
not gonna lie, I've never heard of Flannels.
Okay, so, right, concept. You know Mike Ashley, who owns like Sports Direct and all of that?
Oh, is it don't people not like him?
Yeah, he's not very nice.
Yeah, okay.
He created Flannels, which is kind of like, it's like a department store, but it will never be a Selfridges or Harvey Nichols.
Okay.
And it's just like brands, but I don't know how to say it. I think it's quite like chavvy in a sense of it would have like Stone Island then next to like Ganni, and like the two just don't mix.
Okay.
I feel like if you work in fashion, you know what I mean. It's just a strange assortment.
Can I ask, is it similar to maybe like, is it like an upmarket TK Maxx?
No. TK Maxx is a discount store.
Oh, but you said it was on sale.
Well, yeah, it's a retail store that has a sale.
Oh, right. I thought it was a sales store.
Oh, my God, no. So I'm ringing round all the stores near me in London. I'm like, hi, do you sell Celine? They're like, no. And I'm like, no one in London sells like Celine and like Flannels because we have actual Celine shop. Maybe that's why. My housemate's like working from home next to me. She's like, oh, my God, I can't believe you're literally on the phone ringing for this bag. And I thought, do you know what? I'm going to give Newcastle a go because nowhere in Newcastle sells Celine. Surely. Ring up straight away. All right, you're through to Flannels, Newcastle. How can I help? And I was like, hi, do you sell Celine in your store? And he's like, I think we do actually. Yeah. I was like, I wonder if you could actually just track down like this bag for me. It's in the sale. All right, you got a description? I'm like, yes. So it's like the straw bag. It's got brown leather like strap handles, and then it's got Celine logo. It's like 2 backward C's on the front. It's in sale. I think I know which one you mean. Hold on 2 seconds, I'll just go look. My Geordie accent is min.
10 points for the accent. That's
so good. Honestly, who would have thought?
She's a Geordie girl with a VIP edge.
Anyway, I'm on hold and I'm like literally like nearly squeaked out of my seat in like, oh my God, they've got the bag. Anyway, comes back and he literally just repeats the description. He's like, right, so it's like the light straw colour with like the 2 C's. And I'm like, yeah, that's the one. He's like, we've got the one left. And I'm like, well, I don't suppose you'll be able to put it on hold for me. He's like, I know, bother. And I'm like, this
Oh
is why
my
I love
God.
the North, because they
Newcastle
are
customer
so
service.
friendly. So I text my brother and I'm like, don't suppose you're going into town today? He's like, no. I'm like, didn't expect anything less, to be honest.
Yep.
And I ringed up my dad and I'm like, hi, Dad. Yeah, so I'm going to ask you to do a favour for me. It's going to be a favour that you really, really, really don't want to do. But really, really, please, can you actually do it? And he's like, all right. And I'm like, I need you to go into town for me to pick up a bag. And he's like, all right, no problem.
Oh my God, so
Literally,
cute.
I thought this was going to be my biggest problem, getting Dad to get the bag. And he was like, no problem. And he was like, what is flannels? He was like,
Same
you
as me.
doesn't know
Yeah.
what flannels is. For a reference, it's on Northumberland Street in between WH Smith and H&M. It's a big black store. I've
And
never set foot in there.
probably a Greg's.
Yeah, well, yeah, where the Greg's on the corner is,
Shocking.
opposite Phoenix. So I don't know how to describe my dad, but the thought of my dad entering flannels is actually quite funny. In his like cord jeans
to buy a sleeve bag.
to buy a Celine bag.
Well, that's the winner chicken dinner.
Winner, chicken dinner.
Buzz-in. So what is your pit of the week?
Oh my God. I mean, it's nothing compared to yours. Bloody hell. No shit involved.
I don't know how I'm going to top that like next week.
I just can't believe you've announced that to the nation.
Oh, trinket's bad.
I think it's so funny.
It's not my fault. I'm sorry, but no, it isn't. My body just gave up on me at a certain point for no reason.
We just don't need to talk about
Yeah,
it.
can we just not? I don't want anyone to envision the situation in their heads. Like,
Just vision you in the bridesmaid's dress on the side of the pavement, but like the pavement South Bank.
It's happening, isn't it? It's
Outside the
happening.
Royal Festival Hall.
I'm shitting in the street. I've honestly never been more... Sorry, I don't want to go back into it. What's your pit of the week?
Okay, so me and Meg, we went to IKEA because I had a bit of a mini breakdown when I got back to London. I was like, I hate my bedroom. I need to like zhuzh it up, you know. Went to IKEA. And everyone knows what I mean by like the mom drawers. IKEA mom furniture. We get there in like the warehousey aisles. First we go to aisle 27. It's like mom but white, and I wanted the white glossy. Then we just couldn't find it anywhere because you'd think all the mom was together, but apparently not. White glossy is 3 aisles down in aisle 30. So get there. And then obviously there's like this blogger trend at the moment to like get a cool outfit pick in IKEA. I don't know why it's a trend, but it is. I guess IKEA was the first shop to open. So then I'm like, oh, Meg, will you like take a picture of me? And she's like, fucking hell, like, I've just moved in with this girl. Next thing I'm like photographer for Instagram. Like, who does she think she is? Stood there in IKEA, like aisle, you know, posing with like the trolleys, you know, I'm like, we'll get the Gucci bag in, get the outfit in, you know, Meg, no, I like the angle down below, you got to get on your knees. She's like, fuck off. And then like this family walk up the aisle and I'm like, oh, sorry, it's like Vogue happening at the top of the aisle. I'm just going to pretend that I'm browsing these shelves. And they're like, who is this girl? They bugger off, get the photo. I'm like, right, we've secured the drawers, get to the checkout. Really, really long queue because it's like near closing. We get there, we go like both to separate checkouts, and I've unloaded everything. So, you know, I decided to buy different plants, plant pots. So I've unloaded everything on, and then I'm like, oh, I can't find the barcode on the box for the drawers. She comes out of a little kiosk thing, and she's like, oh, it's because you've got 2, like number 2. You need number 1, so you need 1 and 2. And I was like, oh. And then I was panicking because it was really busy, and then, you know, she scanned everything at this point, and I'm like, can I just run back and get it? And she's like, yeah, that's absolutely fine. So I'm like, right, make it back through the queue of people, sprinting back, trying to find.
It's such pressure at that point.
Such pressure. And I'm like, this is like supermarket sweep. I'm like, go wild in the aisles. And I'm like, oh my God, was it aisle 27 or aisle 30? Aisle 29? I finally find it. And then I get there and I'm like, I don't have a trolley. I left the trolley. She's obviously thought, how's she going to get that back? She left the trolley.
Angela on the tills is like, yeah, you go, hun.
And I get there and I'm like, that's fine, I can carry it.
Oh, no.
So I tried to hoy it off the shelf. Number 1 is way heavier than number 2.
Gosh.
And I like drop it and I'm like, oh my God, okay, how am I actually going to get this? So I decided to like put it down and then like drag it along, like barely, like literally crawling on my hands and knees. My bum is like vertical in the air. No one stops to help me, but I guess maybe Corona. And I'm like, I can't push this all the way back to the tills, can I? Spy a trolley out the corner of my eye. I'm like, yes. I'm like literally sweating through the face mask. Like that is just pure moisture inside that mask at this point. Because I think I used my like shitty ASOS one, which is like wearing a pair of leggings around your mouth. And then I try to lift it onto the trolley, but I can't really get it off the ground because it's so heavy. And then, you know, when you like lift it on the trolley, but the trolleys are flat and then it just like kind of falls, but pushes the trolley away.
Yeah.
So I'm kind of doing a push chase in the opposite direction of the tills. I drop it again, make this loud bang. I'm like, Angela on the tills is definitely seeing me struggle right now.
Imagine the people behind you on the tills, because if that was me, I'd be said that like, oh my God,
So embarrassing.
where is she?
I finally managed to get it on there. I am literally like a hot mess at this point. And then I'm like, shit, I've got to get past everyone else in the queue for the checkout. And I just get there and I'm like, oh my God, this is just so embarrassing. And I'm like, do you know what? It's going to have to go through. So I cut through. Everyone's staring at me like, she's pushing in. She's pushing in.
And then social distancing.
Social distancing. Trying to do that social distance. And then the IKEA girl is like, excuse me. What till are you? And I'm like, I'm till number 23. I just need to get these shelves through to the checkout.
Angela's waiting.
Honestly. And I get to the checkout. And then I just open my phone and Meg is like, where are you? You've just disappeared. I'm at like the hot dog queue. Do you want hot dog or fries? What do you want? And we get eye contact and she's like, well, she looks at me. She's just like, what happened to you? And I was like, I'll have a hot dog, not a vegetarian one. I'm going to be flexitarian today. Fries and a can of Fanta. I am traumatized. But that was a bit of the week. It just felt quite traumatizing, to be honest. But I would rather that than shit myself on the South Bank.
Well, to be honest, I think we've both had pretty up and down weeks. Shall we move on?
Let's move on.
Let's never speak of this again.
Can't wait to make this into an Instagram post.
What, little emoji?
Little shit emoji. Would you rather shit yourself on the South Bank or shit yourself in your ex-hookup's house? I don't know what I would rather do.
I think I'd rather the South Bank. Take your chances in the outdoors. Anyway, guys, we are going to be right back to break down our lockdown milestones. Like what you hear, or just like us and want to be supportive, head over to Apple Podcasts or Spotify, leave us a 5-star review and hit that subscribe button. It so matters in helping us get this thing off the ground. So go and do it. So for this week's podcast, we have decided just to take a little look back at our experience in lockdown. So I did find a little article, and it was the lockdown milestones. So this is like a list of the things that happened whilst we were in lockdown, and we'll just get our opinions on it.
And I've just seen the first one, and I feel like I can contribute quite a lot to that.
TikTok, house party, and Zoom quizzing.
What, did you ever do house party?
For a day, and then a fake article came out that said it was hacking my life, and I deleted it.
It's funny that then the same stuff is kind of coming out about TikTok now and all this Chinese data. But
is it?
I'm still all for it, yeah. Zoom quizzes, I got over quite quickly.
I love a Zoom quiz. I ran, the last one was the Robseth Hun race.
You did so many.
Yeah, it was based on Drag Race, and I made my family lip sync for their lives, and it was pretty, and they did It's Raining Men. I had 4 envelopes, and in each one was the name of a song, and I made the top team pick a team they wanted to compete against, and they would steal one another's points to whoever won.
Oh my
and
God.
Then they picked the envelope, and it was It's Raining Men by Jerry Halliwell. And they went outside, they used hoses. My mother had a reveal into a wetsuit. So I loved the Zoom quiz.
Can I just say about the Zoom quizzes, right? I loved when other people did them and I was participating. Then when I went to run my own one, because we took it in turns, that was the most stressful thing I've ever done.
Oh, it is stressful.
Because marking them, oh my God, my like dyslexia situation could not handle all the scores and the right answers. And some of the answers I had for the questions were wrong. And I got one so wrong. I wanted to do who was the first black male solo artist to headline Glastonbury. Stormzy. But I typed it. I was tired when I did it. Who was the first male artist to headline Glastonbury? You just couldn't go more wrong.
Oh, wow.
But the thing is, like, everyone had put random answers, and I was like, can't believe you got this all wrong. Like, obviously it was Stormzy, and they were like, Stormzy's really young. Glastonbury's going on for years. And I was like, oh shit, sorry guys, I said a word of the question wrong.
Oops. What about TikTok?
Okay, so I got fully involved in TikTok, guys. I'm not gonna lie, I've lost tracks of how many times I've gone viral now. I'm just a sensation on there.
It's now a full-time career.
It's just so much fun. It's so funny. You're not on it though, are you?
No.
You are. You've got an account, but you never
I have
go
an
on.
account, but there's nothing. The only thing on there is clips of me singing out my window, which were originally on my Instagram story at passers-by, telling them to get inside.
But there's no like fancy, like on Instagram, everyone tries to be so fancy and bougie. But on TikTok, like it literally is people just filming it in their bedroom. Like you don't need all this fancy stuff. Like if you were to do YouTube, you would need a full blown like lights, camera, etc. On TikTok, you just need your phone.
Yeah.
And that's what it is. It's like relatable content. I mean, there is some ridiculous stuff on there. But like the dances kept me occupied. They're like a cardio workout.
To be honest, they look quite complicated.
They're so complicated.
And I do perform quite often, like a full concert in my shower or in my bedroom at night with a TV remote as my microphone. And I probably couldn't even do the TikTok routines.
But the thing is, right, I feel like people who aren't on TikTok miss out on so much stuff. Because if I was like to you, like, can you renegade? Would you even know what I meant? Renegade.
Not a clue in the world. Apart from I'm pretty sure Alexandra Beck has a song called Renegade. Queen. I might start a campaign right now to get Alexandra Burke on our podcast. Can I just make that clear? Dominic Cummings.
I mean, the Northeast has never had so much press attention.
Oh my God.
Big up Durham.
Big up Barnard Castle.
Yeah.
Is that the right thing?
Barnard?
That was quite traumatic.
That was wrong. What he did was wrong.
Oh, beyond. I think that was like the real pinnacle in lockdown of everyone saying, F this, I'm done.
I think so. That was when things started to change, wasn't it? Because people were like, even I at one point did feel it. I was like, what's the point if it's one rule for them and one rule for us?
What it says queuing for IKEA, McDonald's and Primark.
No chance. I'm really sorry. I can't understand the queuing for McDonald's. What is this nation's obsession with unhealthy food? Honestly, one minute you're all bumming the Run 5K challenge, next minute you're queuing up for McDonald's. Like,
I get it though. People have missed like guilty pleasures.
Actually, I'm such a hypocrite. What I'm actually talking about. As soon as I got back to London and could get McDonald's on Uber Eats, I did.
I haven't had a McDonald's in maybe like 2 years.
It was a bit disappointing, but the double cheeseburger was great.
I
I'm
just
really
would
outing
never
myself as not
consider
being a
it.
pescatarian on here.
You're flexitarian, it's fine.
Flexitarian.
The cultural phenomenon that was the Rain on Me music video.
I feel like that didn't get the attention it deserved. It could have got so much more.
That was a moment.
It was so good.
That was May. May for me was Rain on Me.
Oh, yeah, because it was just before Pride.
Yeah.
Pride Month.
Just before Pride Month.
Oh, it was such a good song. Do you know what?
We all deserve to be able to
Rain
go
on me.
Hands up to the sky. I'll be your
Galaxy. But it's the dance moves.
Rain on me, tsunami. It's a vibe.
I love it.
Harry and Meghan's newspaper announcement.
I'm all for it. Good on them.
She is treated so unfairly.
It's disgusting. It's vile. And you know what? Right, when I worked at John Lewis, John Lewis worked with this charity called SmartWorks.
Nice.
Can't forget that. And they did this collection called the Smart Set. And SmartWorks basically helps women get back into work from like underprivileged backgrounds or if they've had like trauma, etc. Obviously, the person on the John Lewis team who like worked on it could only be like one person. It was like really confidential.
Yeah.
She said Meghan was on every single conference call. She was so involved.
Really?
And then John Lewis hosted the launch, like the press event. And honestly, that was the best day of my year, I would say.
Was it better than the Christmas advert?
Oh, the Christmas advert was so good. But no, Meghan
she's
Markle.
royal.
Yeah, royal. Basically, I was on the door, team ground. So like, she walked past me. But like when she pulled up in the car, like she just, I can't explain it. She just has this glow about her. Everyone said it. It's like you see her and it just everything glows. She's so glowy.
She does just seem very nice.
So nice.
And
she greeted everyone. She went up, she did her speech. She didn't read her speech off paper. I know she's an actress and she can recite lines, but she actually stayed longer than what she was supposed to because she wanted to meet everyone who was involved face to face and thank them.
That's incredibly adorable. So also alongside of this was a list of sort of the questions you should ask yourself now that lockdown is sort of coming to a close. So, like, when you think about it, what would be your favourite lockdown memory?
Oh my God. This one just cracks me up so much, right? So I'm like sat on house party. Oh, there we go. I'm on house party, trendy. To my friend Bex. And I'm like laying in bed and I'm like, I sniff and I'm like, I can smell weed. And then I'm like, nah, whatever. And then I'm like, nah, I can really, really smell weed.
Were you home in Newcastle?
Home in Newcastle.
Oh, wow, okay.
And like, so my house in Newcastle is like 3 stories and I have the whole top floor. So I'm like, what the hell is causing the smell in the attic, basically? And I open my bedroom door, hit by this waft of weed. And I'm like, my brother My brother's 18 going on 19. And I go down the stairs, look in his room, and I'm like, Billy, it stinks in here. What are you doing? Because he's not smoking. And he's like, oh, I was just grinding some. Dad is downstairs.
Grinding his weed.
Grinding his weed.
Grinding his ganja.
Oh my God. So I'm like, right, crack open the window, get a candle on. I'll take control of Dad. I go downstairs and I'm like, oh my God, the whole house stinks. Like, our house is quite big.
It really carries.
It really carries. And I open the living room door and it doesn't smell in the living room. And I just never shut that door so tight. And I'm like having to engage in conversation with my dad for like 3 hours. You keep him occupied, don't leave the living room because the whole house stinks. What was your fave?
I redid Christmas.
Oh, you did? Yeah.
So I think on like the third week, I was feeling a bit sort of. It was when it was like full lockdown, like leave your house once a day, nothing else. So the night before, I put up my tree, I decorated, I like prepared like Christmas cookies.
Did you play Mariah Carey, All I Want for Christmas Is You?
Yeah, a full playlist. I got my Christmas pajamas on. I woke up the next day. I made a roast.
You fully actually did Christmas.
I redid Christmas, and I decorated. I wore like a Christmas hat. Everything was perfect, and it was probably one of the best moments of my year.
Do you know what? Actually, you just reeling that off has made me kind of want to recreate Christmas tomorrow.
It's just the happiest situation. Like, imagine you wake up like
Don't want. That's my favourite Christmas
and
song.
like the Christmas movies. I watched Love Actually. I ate a tub of Quality Streets. The Holiday, and then I ended it singing Last Christmas out my window at Strangers.
Christmas,
It was great fun. What would you say was one thing you didn't achieve that you wish you had?
Didn't make the banana bread.
Do you wish you had? You can still do
I
it.
would have liked to maybe give it a go, but
Did you bake anything?
Pratt cookies.
Oh.
But it took 3 attempts to get them right, but they were delicious when we did get them right.
What went wrong the first 2 times?
So the first time, can't remember what went wrong, but my dad actually, we gave one to Dad, and he actually spat it out and put it in the bin.
That's shameful.
To be fair, like I got really into my running and fitness, and then which is like amazing for me because I'm not one of those kind of gals. And then I had that horrible accident when I fell over when I was running, and then that all just went out the window.
Remind people for who don't know what happened. Tell us what happened.
Oh my God. I went out, I was only a K from my house, and I tripped over half an inch of pavement. Half an inch, went running. Smack onto the ground. Got concussion, neck sprain, cracked my chin open quite badly. I mean, I thought I'd broke my jaw, but the x-ray was fine, although there still is a bump. And yeah, I had to get my chin stitched and glued back together, and I just had cuts, and my knees look disgusting. Like, look at them.
Who needs that?
Yeah.
Oh, they don't look bad, babe.
I know, but they look like Haribo fried eggs.
That kind of goes with another thing that's on this list, which is my one thing I'll miss, and that is leisure wear every day.
Yes.
I don't want to get dressed anymore.
Like, do you know what it is? Right, so I'm going back into my office on Wednesday just because I want to just have a day in the office.
Yeah.
I'm panicking because I'm like, I can't go in hoodie and cycling shorts.
No, you can't.
I can't. I've got so used to this new clothing.
I love it.
I'm obsessed.
Like, I had to put jean shorts on one day last week, and that is the furthest I've got to a pair of trousers in my entire. I don't want my calves to feel trapped.
To be fair, I have worn jeans, but mine are quite comfy.
Oh, for me, it's literally like I've lived this in like sportswear, gym wear, big sweatshirts, hoodies.
Sweatshirts. Honestly, if you open that cupboard behind you, I was like fucking Narnia of sweatshirts.
I just want to live my life like that. That's the one thing I'll really, really miss.
Do you know what I'll miss? Not having FOMO. No one was doing anything, so you didn't ever feel like, oh man, like I wish I was doing that, or like.
But how have you found social media through lockdown?
Well, I actually fully deleted it. As in, like, deleted my Instagram profile for a bit, didn't I? Basically, I lost, like, someone in my family. Not directly to coronavirus, but they did have corona. And it was the day I found out. And then I went on, like, Instagram, like, 10 minutes after. And there was just people on Instagram stories just, like, this girl had full-on family gathering and, like, garden when, like, she didn't live with her family, and there was, like, no social distancing, and it was, like, a proper kick in the teeth.
Yeah.
So I just deleted it because I'd just seen enough. But I don't know. I found social media quite hard in some ways because this whole need to, like, work out came from social media, I think.
Oh, yeah, it did.
And, like, waking up in the morning and seeing that, like, people are doing mini workouts at like 6 a.m. or whatever, actually made me feel a bit like shitty because I was like, shit, I need to be doing that then. What I kind of liked about it from a blogging and influencing perspective was that no one could go outside to do outfit pics. Everyone was inside and it made people a lot more creative. And I feel like I really upped my game. So I enjoyed that part of it.
Your Instagram is a highlight reel. It's not your hustle. Like, I don't need to see every single element. Like, I enjoy snapshots of people's lives, but it did get to a point where it's like the people when you go to the gym, when the gyms are open, and they record their entire workout to put it online. And I'm like, everyone is skipping through this. Just an FYI. Like, I understand people, like, I sometimes post a photo in the gym or something, like, I use it as a snapshot rather than a diary. And some people use it as a diary, and that's where I think it can create quite FOMO.
Yeah. And some people love the diary content and some people don't.
Yeah, it's completely different.
But I think it just turned into a productivity contest.
Oh, it did.
And there was that meme, and it was, well, not meme, it was like that quote, and it was like, you're in a global pandemic. It's not a productivity contest. And some people really needed to hear that. What are you happy that is back open now?
I'm very excited for the gym to reopen.
Oh, yeah.
We are a few days away.
When does that open? This weekend?
Saturday. I'm going to get my hair and beard done soon from my barber, who I absolutely adore.
I can't believe that men were allowed beard trims before women were allowed eyelash and eyebrows.
Were you allowed to? I thought it was in the new regulations.
From the first. But beard trims was always allowed when hairdressers could reopen.
Hallelujah. Thank God. I've never looked so raggedy in my life.
Same.
What about you?
I would say the beauty salons.
Yeah.
Because you know what? Getting my nails done is like one of my favourite things of like self-care. And it was such a routine. It was like every 2 weeks I'll go get my gel manicure and like keep my brows tip-top and like get an eyelash lift. And I just really, really, really missed stuff like that.
It's the stuff that you do in your life that makes you feel better about yourself. So every boy rocked either like the Prison Break shave or the Harry Potter 4 flow, and it looked just like this weird 2006 trend. And for a while, I literally looked like I literally just had like a mop on my head. What was your lockdown playlist?
Okay. I would say the Dua Lipa album. That was such a good album.
Future nostalgia.
Do. I should have stayed at home. Do.
I feel like it's going to be such a common trend of us singing on this.
I know. I did actually book tickets to see Dua Lipa in January. I think that tour's still going ahead.
In January?
Yeah, January 2021.
When the Pussycat Dolls?
Honestly, right. I'm not being funny.
That's been just pushed.
I've waited like 10 years for this reunion. Coronavirus, that was the one thing that really, really annoyed me was the Pussycat Dolls being cancelled. Well, it's next... Is it next October? Next May? Next May. I've got the weekend next October. All my concerts I had so many concerts and festivals planned for this year.
I had Pussycat Dolls, JoJo, and that's in 16 months' time. She's coming next like November. I'm like, this is a long way to JoJo.
We'll have second and third outbreak by then.
I was also going to a day festival called Mighty Hoopla, and it was like a really good... Cheryl.
It's a really good one.
Yeah, it's like a little like LGBTQ situation. And that got cancelled as well.
Oh, I would have loved to have seen Cheryl. Cheryl Cole. Cheryl Fernandez Facini.
Do you remember when we met Cheryl?
Oh my God, we met Cheryl Cole. This was when she was Cheryl Cole, wasn't it? Or was this... No, this was after. She was Cheryl at this point.
Just call my name Cheryl.
Oh my God, it was so good, right? So we queued up on HMV, outside HMV
the
on
day
Northumberland
before
Street.
our science GCSE exam.
Biology GCSE. Because I remember thinking, oh my God, I'm going to get so much trouble because I'm not revising. But I did foundation science anyway, so you did proper. I think you were more stressed.
I may as well have, to be honest.
I was like, whatever.
Yeah, solid C.
Anyway, and then we met Cheryl, and I remember I did these like nails, and they were like ombre. It was like pink and blue ombre. She was like, yeah, I like your nails. And I was like, thanks.
Thank you, Cheryl.
Thanks, Cheryl.
In HMV Newcastle.
And you had like 1 second to meet her, get your album signed and get the photo taken. So she was like, I like your nails. And I'm like, I just want the photo.
And also you had to put your name on a post-it note so she could write it.
Yeah. Hiya, Bibi.
Hi.
We call her Bibi. What has been the one thing that you've learned from lockdown?
I have learned the importance of having life outside of social life and work life and gym life and all of those normal things. I've learned it's really important to reintroduce hobbies. So when I was thinking like this, when I was younger, and you're in school, you go to school from like 9 till 3, and then afterwards you always, at least a few times a week, you normally do have a hobby or something you do and fill that time with. And as you get older, it kind of goes away. Like, you fill up your time with like work, gym, socializing too, go to bed, early night. And through lockdown, I've got back into photography, got back into being creative. We created this podcast.
That's so true. I've got back into Instagram. I did some blogging.
And there's stuff that are like little passion projects that you use, like this part of your brain that is just for you. And I really want to keep that with me because it's so nice to have like a few hours a day where I'm actually just doing something because like I enjoy it for no like reason other than that.
What I really learn is outdoor appreciation.
Yeah.
I think that's because I went home and I was by the beach, and when you got that one walk a day and you could only leave the house once, you really like appreciated that. And like even now, I've got so used to not going for dinner in a restaurant, getting takeout, sitting on Clapham Common.
So much nicer.
And like just sitting outside.
This is the thing, there's bits of stuff time that we've learned where we've sort of learned to appreciate things that were so easy.
Yeah.
It's like at the start when everyone was hoarding food.
But I've never been so stressed about finding toilet roll.
Oh my
Honestly,
God.
I nearly had a mental breakdown in Tesco's. Like I just kind of just stood and looked at the empty shelves and just died. I think a tear did come out of my eye because we hadn't stockpiled toilet roll in the house.
No.
And we were just like, we'd actually run out, and I was like, I just don't want to have to use a tissue.
I remember there was this one time I was on the last day I worked in the office and I was then there at 3 p.m. and the man literally shouted, "Toilet roll delivery!" And they were literally, people were like running. It was like feeding time at a zoo. People were grabbing, like, and I was like, oh my, the viciousness, it's worse than Black Friday. But if you think to 2021, what are you looking forward to?
All the concerts.
Concerts. Eurovision.
Oh, did you watch the Eurovision movie on Netflix?
Oh my God, did I watch the Eurovision movie on Netflix? I absolutely watched the
Oh my
Eurovision
God.
movie.
I'm not gonna lie, right? I need
Twice.
to watch it again because there was part of me that was like, some parts are terrible and then some parts are amazing. Like
Terrible.
Yeah, like some parts were just like, oh, like he really annoyed me.
Will Ferrell.
Yeah, but then that scene where they're in Edinburgh and they break out, they're at the party, and they break out into all the
Oh,
songs.
yes.
I actually we went and watched that on YouTube after because it's so fantastic.
They've done like a remix of the song Double Trouble. Like, double trouble, double. It's honestly everything I need in my life and more. It sounds like a step song.
Oh my goodness.
And if anything sounds like a step song, I'm here for it.
Yeah. We love. But I'm excited for Eurovision.
Eurovision, the Olympics, but I don't really follow sport. They've moved them to next year.
No, do you know what? My one of my friends, her ex-boyfriend, is an athlete who competes in the Olympics, and he actually.
Oh God, she hit a gold.
Well, no, we've found. I'm trying to like not say this without saying people's names. She found out that he actually had like a long-term girlfriend of 3 years, and he was doing like half the weekend with her and half the weekend with her, like.
You can't even count on the Olympians, to tell you the truth.
Exactly. So, but there was so much more to it that was just horrendous. So we were like kind of praying that the Olympics didn't happen because
he wouldn't get
he
his
wouldn't be
shot.
able to get a shot. So I hope that next year when it happens, he just has another knee injury.
I think, you know what? That is the perfect note to leave this on. Karma will hit those who deserve it.
Share the love. I'm going to take the attention away from me for like a split 30 seconds, just so I can share someone I'm absolutely loving in the local business community. So, the UK government has made it compulsory to wear face masks on public transport and soon to be shops. And I want to shout out to a little Instagram and Etsy brand called Lulu and Lex. She makes custom face masks from literally the biggest range of fabrics, but she's just started doing matching hair scrunchies so you can match and look so chic in your face masks, because I'm sorry, I am not about these flimsy little one-use things. We've got to save the environment, get some nice custom washable masks. So check out Lulu and Lex on Instagram. Okay, so it's time to put a rule into the Gal Code. So for those who don't know, we both come to this podcast with 2 rules, one each, and these are the rules to live by. We say it's like Dua Lipa new rules, but 2020.
Yeah.
And only one could go in. So Rob's last week went in, and that was, don't hate a flake, just hate a fake.
Preach.
Which I thought was fantastic. And
Absolutely.
then this week, mine is, I hate the word cool, but I'm using it. It is so cool to love yourself.
Okay.
right? You know, girls, if a girl is like, loves herself and is confident in herself, it's always like, ugh, she's so up herself. Oh, she's so cocky. She's so full of herself. Why are girls, there's like this conception that we have to be so insecure
Humble.
about
Yeah.
ourselves, though. It has to be like, you know, someone pays us a compliment, like, oh, I love your dress. And we're like, oh, it's just like old Topshop. We play it down. We find it so hard to be like, oh my God, like, your hair is so nice. You have to be like, oh, like, yeah, like, I just had it done. You should have seen it beforehand. It was so bad. I just feel like on Instagram, there's this whole movement about like body positivity and stuff. Girls, I just feel are just so made, it's so the norm to be insecure. I just want people. No, that's not how it is.
Yeah.
I know it's really hard.
Because it feels not cringy, but like it's true. You're sort of taught not to sort of amp yourself up.
Yeah.
Because it's seen as arrogant.
Uh-huh. And don't get me wrong, there is a fine line between that.
Yeah, there is.
Absolutely.
So basically, it means you should love yourself and own yourself and just strut like no one's watching.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that should be the norm. This norm of like putting yourself down, get that in the bin.
Well, my real pitch for the week, it doesn't really... It's more of a little Rob rant.
Oh, good God. Like, are people going to get offended? The
Well,
PR in me, the internal communications, corporate
no.
communications in me is screaming right now.
No,
What am I going to be hit with?
I'm actually a little worried to say this to you because I don't know if you've ever done this before.
Get it out. Get it out.
I
Something.
want to ban new post Instagram stories.
Do you know what? You're really passionately screaming into that microphone because I'm watching the little bar go on red when you
I
post.
want to get rid of them. I have such a pet peeve.
So what do you mean? What do you mean new post Instagram
Right,
stories?
so when people post a photo on Instagram
yeah.
and they share it to their story
Fuck off because I did this today.
and they put the
I
words...
feel attacked.
they-
Oh my God.
they
Offended,
put the
offended,
words,
offended.
New post. It feels like the most beggy thing ever. I can't stand it. I'm like, yeah, hun, I know you posted. I've seen it earlier on your feed. I've
Oh
seen
my
it.
God.
I don't need you to post it. And it's not
This is so rude.
and I don't mind.
Can't deal.
I don't mind the actual photo being put up. Like, that's absolutely fine. It's the two words. It's the words.
post.
New post. It just feels baggy.
I put it on my story because Instagram doesn't put it on people's timelines.
But then...
I need the likes.
But did you put new post?
Okay, right, I don't need the likes. That was really, really sad. But like, I've got like an ad coming out in a couple of days, and I'm really embarrassed if then I get shit engagement on it.
I like it for you,
And
don't worry.
I don't think I do put new post. I put something
It's-
today,
it's
but I
those, like,
actually have
graphics.
deleted
It's
it.
like, you know, when people put graphics, like new post, and it's like scrubbing out the photograph. It's like, ta-da! It's like, yeah. We can see. We know it's there. I don't need you to notify me of it. It's not a notification. I don't have my push notifications on. You're literally just one of the few people I follow. I do not need you to remind me that you've posted something because on the most times I've seen it.
Do you know what it reminds me of?
What?
When Facebook was the most popular app and you would like share your Facebook profile picture when you uploaded
Oh my
it.
god! Or retag yourself.
Re-tagged yourself. Bieber Bagnall's tagged in a photo and everyone's like, yeah, no, she was tagged in it yesterday and
So
the day
wait,
before that.
So I think, I mean, mine's a little bit of a rant. Do you think people will agree with it?
I do feel like there will definitely be people that agree with you and then there's people who feel a little bit attacked like me.
Should we-
actually don't feel attacked.
Should we do like a little Instagram story poll?
Yeah. What, like, I'm going to whack that up in the Insta plan.
And we'll see how people feel. But I think for this week, the Gal Code rule, I think we should go with yours.
Love yourself.
It's so cool
to
to
love
love
yourself.
Oh, we're in sync.
Oh my God.
Ah.
Just need like RuPaul to say it or something. It sounds so much better.
Cool to love yourself.
Stay connected. Follow us on Instagram at the Gal Code Podcast or at Robert Gartland or BB_Bagnall. We want to hear from you and let us know what you want to add into the Gal Code. Okay, so that is the end of episode 2. I'm actually quite sad about that, but I think everyone's probably relieved because we've just absolutely chatted their ear holes off.
Yeah, it's been a little bit of a media long one, but it's
Yeah,
good.
but let us know what you think. We really enjoy getting all the feedback, like honest and
Honest,
truthful,
upfront.
upfront.
I don't have to be as honest in my pit of the week next week.
Yeah, yeah. Disclaimer.
That's happened. But do sort of give us your reviews on Apple, follow us, subscribe to us, all the usual podcast things that everyone begs you to do.
Do you know what? I'm loving seeing people's reviews on the Apple podcast thing.
Yeah.
It's really interesting.
It is.
But no, I'm really excited for this to go out.
Absolutely. And we will be back next Wednesday with a brand new episode of The Gal Code.
Bye.
Bye.